Los Angeles, here's Larry King.
Good evening. Before we start, we'd like to welcome Rick Kaplan to the fold from ABC. He's the new president of CNN USA under Tom Johnson, our chairman and CEO. It's great to have Rick with us as part of this great team at this wonderful network. 35 years ago today, America and the world lost a very bright star and some of our innocence at the same time. On the morning of August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe's housekeeper found her dead in her home in Brentwood, California. There were and still are a lot of unanswered questions surrounding that death. But tonight we're celebrating Marilyn Monroe's life, career, and legend. We have a wonderful panel of guests with us for this special edition of Larry King Live. All of them are at our studios here in Los Angeles. Actor, comedian, legend himself, Milton Berle. He first met Marilyn Monroe in 1949 and later starred with her in the movie Let's Make Love. Hope Lang, who co-starred with Marilyn in the critically acclaimed 1956 movie Bus Stop. Another legend, Mickey Rooney. What a man. He helped Marilyn get a part in her 1950 movie The Fireball. The noted photographer, George Barris, he has produced a pictorial book, 2 of them on Marilyn Monroe, and took what are believed to be the last pictures of her in July of 1962. And our perennial favorite, my man Robert Wagner, longtime TV and film star. He appeared with Marilyn in the 1951 film Let's Make It Legal and did 2 screen tests with her for 20th Century Fox. Hope Lang, when did you meet Marilyn?
On the set of Bus Stop.
You were in the movie with her, and you had
Yes.
not known her before?
No, I'd never met her before.
Like her?
And, she was very pleasant. One didn't get to know her very well.
Difficult to work with?
It wasn't so much that she was difficult, but you had to take it as a given that it would be 25, 30 takes every scene. And that was very hard on the actors who were working with her. And
how about the scenes with Don Murray, Debbie?
Well, it was very, very difficult for Don. He was just recovering from pneumonia. And he was still running a fever. And he had to play this muscular, strong, crazy cowboy. And it, take after take, it was hard. He's a very patient man.
How'd you first meet her, Mick?
I met her when she arrived at Ray Anthony's home on Ventura Boulevard.
The trumpet band?
In 1936. And I put her in the car and drove her in, and I said, you've got to change your name, Norma Jean.
Her name was Norma Jean.
And, of course, she had been married when she was 14 to somebody a policeman, I believe, in San Francisco. She told me very slightly. And then finally I said, well, I see you as Marilyn, because Marilyn Miller was one of our greatest stars. And at that time, well, she told me, she says, you know, I said, is that really Norma Jean? And then your married name? I didn't know, you know, concisely.
But how would you come to give her new name?
Well, the phone rang, and it was Monroe Manning, who was a writer that you could give a beginning, a middle, and an end. He'd have a complete script for you in 3 days. He's passed away since then. He was a former leading man. And I said, Monroe, I'm talking with someone now. I don't mean to be rude. May I call you right back? And I said, he said, of course, Mick. And I hung up, and I went, and I did a double take, Larry. And she says, what's the matter, Mickey? And I said, I was talking to your last name. She said, who's that? And I said, Monroe. Phonetically, and the iambic pentameter of the name is so perfectly right.
You gave her the name?
No, I did, in a way, but I did, without any equivocation. I took her to Johnny Hyde's home, who was the head of the William Morris office. And I said, Johnny, I've got the most beautiful star in the world, and I want you to meet her. So I brought her over to the house. He had dinner. He was sitting at the
Did you introduce her as Marilyn Monroe?
I introduced Johnny Hyde.
Did you introduce her as Marilyn Monroe?
As Marilyn Monroe.
Okay. All right, just stop right there.
That's right.
We'll stop. Milton.
Yeah.
How'd you first meet her?
Well, the first time I met her was in 1949. In 49, and I was doing a picture out here called Always Leave Them Laughing, which they didn't. And
Get that
no single laughing,
okay.
please. And I had a few days off, so I went to visit Columbia Studio, and Harry Cohn, who was the president at that time, was a very good friend of mine, and I had lunch with him, and he said, would you like to see what we're shooting on the set? I said, sure. So he took me to a set, and I saw this picture. And the name of the picture, what the heck was the name of the picture? Oh, well, two sisters. Mother and daughter, they played two sisters. And I said, who's that girl over there? He said, well, that's Marilyn Monroe. I said, oh, my gosh, she's gorgeous. Look at the shape on her. Look at the face. He says, yeah, she's something, isn't she? I said, yeah.
She's what, about 22?
I don't know how much.
No, she was younger than that.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
Well, you had your shot. And the bullet didn't work.
So what?
Anyway, laugh it up. I laugh when you get dressed.
It's a memorial.
I know it's a memorial, but let's add a little humor to it, because memorials and eulogies I do not like, but this eulogy I am...
You spot
it's a great memorial.
She's gorgeous.
This eulogy,
so I saw her.
Is a memorial.
Hold it, Mickey, please.
Okay.
All right, I will if you will.
Wait.
I'll speak to you when you're well-dressed.
Give the host a break. Okay.
So I met her, and
I'll get to Robert and George in a minute.
My
because
God.
we're expecting normalcy any minute. All right, you spotted her. She's
You
beautiful.
want to know the truth? Or not?
Yes.
Well, then ask me the right question without this...
What the right question is a
midget
difficult
in-
question.
But you
How
know
did
who
you
made
meet
her? Johnny Hyde.
I didn't say that.
Okay, how'd you meet her?
Gee.
All right, she's standing there. You say she's beautiful.
So I met her, and she looked at me, and I was on television at the time, and she said, oh, my God, it's Uncle Milty. I said, well, it's not Grandpa Kramer. Yeah, she said, and I liked her very much. She was beautiful, and I was not married at the time. I was in between marriages. You should know about that. And
I'm letting that go right by.
Excuse me, I know all about that if you want to.
Nobody, I'm talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give me a shot here.
Are you saying you took her out?
So I made a date with her, and I took her out. I was between marriages, so it was okay. And we went around. We had a lot of dinners and everything. One thing about Marilyn that I must say, she was completely the antithesis of what she looked like on the screen. She was really a tomboy to me. She liked to dress in slacks, no makeup and anything. She wasn't that glamorous. She didn't act glamorous. And we went, and I remember very well, we drove to way out to the beach, and she used to like junk food. She stopped for hamburgers and everything, and we had a lot of laughs.
She was a child.
All right, let me get a break. We'll come right back and hear George and Robert tell their side and the story as they meet Marilyn Monroe. 35 years ago today, she left us. Whew, hard to believe. We'll be right back. We're back. Robert Wagner, don't automatically associate you with Marilyn Monroe. Take me back.
Well, you know, Larry, we were all kind of started at the same time. And my daughter's mother, Marion Marshall, and Marilyn Monroe were both under contract to Fox at the same time. As a matter of fact, they were taken down to, you used to have to go downtown, you know, when you have to have part of your salary given to, taken and put into a fund so that they wouldn't spend it. And she was then about 19 or 20. And the two M's were taken down there, Marion Marshall and Marilyn Monroe. And then I did her screen test with her. I did two of them with her. They signed her at Fox, and then they dropped her, and then they brought her back again. And I did two of them.
We see there's a picture of her sitting on your lap. What was this occasion?
That was a screen test. That was one of the screen tests at Fox that I did. And
Did you like her?
Oh, I thought she was great. I thought she was absolutely wonderful. She had a great sense of humor. And as Milton says, you know, she was so fresh and so honest and so direct. Really a wonderful, wonderful girl.
The camera liked her, too, right?
Oh,
how did she do on the screen test?
Drank her up. Oh, she was absolutely marvelous. I mean, she was so special and had such great humor. I mean, such, I thought. And
did you remain friends?
Yes, we did, yeah.
Up to her death?
Yes, I was in Europe when she died, but we were friends up until that time.
And George Barris, I guess you photographed her more than anyone, right? I guess.
I think I'm one of them. That's right.
You did 2 books with her?
2 books.
How'd you meet her?
Well, I met Marilyn back in 1954 when she came to New York to do the location shooting for the 7-Year Itch. And I was a freelance photojournalist. I was working over at the Metro Sunday newspapers, and I said to my editor there, you know, this girl is fantastic. Why don't we do a nice take on her in New York? He said, what do you want to do? I said, follow her around, photograph her off guard. He said, sounds interesting. He says, go ahead, spend a week with her. I did. I went over to the location. It was on 61st between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. They had an old brownstone house. And she was on the 2nd floor leaning out the window. I went upstairs, started taking pictures, and the clicking of the shutter on the camera alerted her. She turns around, she looks at me, and I thought, uh-oh, here comes trouble. But she started smiling, and she says, I'll take a dozen of those.
Did you take the famous picture of the skirt blowing up?
Yes, I took that.
That was for the 7-Year Itch, right?
No, that was the 7-Year Itch.
I was in New York that night when you
yeah,
Joe DiMaggio was there, and
how did you get that shot?
You know, she
was the most famous shot of her ever taken.
Yeah,
but they had a prop guy down there with
they had a fan underneath because that was a subway on 54th and Lexington, you know, the old Translux Theater. So she's coming out with Tom Ewell, her co-star, and it's a very hot night. It's September. And she says, let's stop here at the grating of the subway where the air blows up when the trains come by. And she stops there. There's a prop underneath blowing the air up, and her skirt goes up. It's a beautiful shot. And Billy Wilder kept shooting that over and over and over.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
That was it.
But the thing that happened is Joe DiMaggio, her husband, was sitting.
Like it.
He was standing there with Walter Winchell, who was a famous columnist in those days. Milton remembers him and all that. And, you know, I mean, she didn't know what to think of it, and he was upset. There was a crowd of mostly men, about 200-300, all yelling, more, Marilyn, more, you know, and applauding.
the people went crazy that night.
They went crazy.
The people that were standing around on the street watching that night, they went absolutely crazy. Am I right?
So you all sensed that this was a moment.
Oh,
this was unbelievable.
What was her quality, Milton? What did she have that a lot of other pretty people didn't have?
I thought that what R.J. said, that she was so plain that she was leading two lives. She was an actress with glamour and sex, and in the other way, she was just Marilyn, right?
But what we saw, why do you think, Hope, the public liked her so much? The public liked her.
Yes. I think she had that wonderful combination of, aside from being very sensual or sexy, whatever you want to call it, there was a side that was very vulnerable. And that kind of came through. And that's a wonderful combination.
Or she was susceptible.
Yes.
You felt sorry for her, right? Mickey, true?
Yes, it's true. The one that was really responsible for Marilyn's success in motion pictures, I hate to repeat and be repetitious, was Johnny Hyde, who fell in love with her, and they went together for 8 months.
He managed her, right?
He, not managed, he was her agent.
He was with the William Morris.
William Morris Agency, he and Abe Lasvogel. And he was responsible for her getting her contract at 20th Century Fox.
What was her quality to you?
She was, without a doubt, the most glamorous, and you know, this word is utilized in Hollywood much too much, but there was no one that was more glamorous than Marilyn Monroe.
I think, above all, she had her own style and her own point of view. And it was when Marilyn, when I did Let's Make Love with her, and I went like this, hello, yes, no. She laughed. She was laughing. Because I was putting her on and I was imitating her, and she had a great sense of humor.
About herself, too?
Well, about herself. And I did one-liners with her. I threw one-liners at her. I'll never forget one night we were having, in a restaurant, we were having dinner, and I had strawberry shortcake. And I took the whipped cream off the strawberry shortcake, and I did a shtick with her. And I thought she'd get mad, but she didn't.
What'd you do?
I gave her took the strawberry shortcake, put it on a spoon, put the spoon in her mouth, and left the spoon in her mouth. So there's this most glamorous woman in the world with a spoon in her mouth, and she said, no, everybody wasn't looking, but she laughed. She said, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard of.
We'll be right back with more on Marilyn Monroe Remembered on Larry King Live. Don't go away.
Habitat for Humanity is the opportunity for people to demonstrate how human we can really be.
The purpose of Habitat is to provide families with affordable, nice housing.
Working side by side with the family.
We're back on Larry King Live, and that's the now famous, the most famous picture maybe ever taken of a Hollywood star, taken by George Barris in New York City. What was her quality, R.J.?
Well, I think Hope had a pretty good beat on that. The thing
Vulnerable.
is, yeah, vulnerability, but she also, the sexuality, you know, she had that. And then she went for the honesty. You know, she was always trying to improve herself. She was always trying to do something that was away from that, because obviously that was the first thing they were going to pigeonhole her in that.
R.J., didn't she always try to study?
All the time.
Didn't she go to the New York studio lab and et cetera?
The actor's studio.
And
But
what
she was, as Hope said, very frustrating, right?
Well,
to work with.
I guess she was. I mean, she wasn't with me. I would imagine that could probably be pretty frustrating. I don't know, but I know that there's stories about her being, you know, so difficult, but, you know, you only know what you see.
You didn't see it?
No, I mean, I'm talking about the audience. They,
right, the audience, of course.
They only see what's there, so you don't know what the difficulties might have been. I know one thing that she didn't like is that people were always after her all the time, and she could pick out someone who was really honest and was straight with her, and when people were dishonest with her, she turned right off, and everybody was always trying to get to her.
That's true.
Always trying to get to her. Weren't they, Milton? They were always saying, you know,
Hope.
Well, you talked about her, that she took her work seriously, and she certainly did. And when she did Bus Stop, she had her dramatic coach, Paula Strasberg, sitting right next to the camera lens, every single shot. And Marilyn would always look to her to see if it was all right.
Why are you frowning,
Never the
Dick?
Director.
I don't believe in somebody teaching somebody to act. We're all actors.
Yeah, but someone taught her.
No, she was trying her best to express her individuality, and everybody else, by getting into the act, more or less, was trying to teach her to be somebody else that she wasn't.
That was Marilyn's choice. Paula Strasberg.
God love her and keep her. I don't care anything about
George, was she easy to work with or difficult to photograph?
No, she was easy. She was
Always
wonderful.
easy.
Always easy.
All the years you spent.
Never gave me any problems.
She knew
if she was
photogenic. That's why she
But
was
if she
easy.
was late, she would apologize. She'd cry. One night she came.
very
The
sensitive.
sun had gone down. Very sensitive. She turns to me at the beach and she says, "Can we take pictures at night?" I says, "Marilyn, forget it. We'll do it another day." And she puts her arms around me and says, "Forgive me, I'm sorry." I mean, she was so apologetic and so sincere.
You know one thing, Larry?
Let me get a quick break. We'll come back
There
with
will
more.
never be another Marilyn Monroe.
We'll be right back with more, and we'll discuss the tragedy and their thoughts on what brought it about, other stories as well, and reminiscences. Don't go away. What a panel we have assembled on the life of Marilyn Monroe. Did she ever do your television show?
Oh, you read about that. Oh, you remember it.
No, you were on all those years, and she was a big star. I figured it would be natural.
That's a great story. I was with the William Morris Agency at the time, 64 years or something like that, and I was doing a big special, the first color special from California, and I did it from the carrier in San Diego, and I wanted to really hypo it and put the best show on. So I knew Marilyn, so I called her on the phone. I said, I wonder if you would do a walk-on for me on this show. I don't want you to make a performance, just a walk-on. She says, I'll be very glad to. I said, well, that's wonderful. She said, well, within the next day, I got a call from her. She said, Milton, you ready? I said, yeah. I got a little bad news for you. Well, what's that? She said, you know, I'm with 20th Fox, and they will not allow me to appear on television.
What?
They will not allow me to appear on television. I said, oh, so I can't do it. I said, oh, now I'm flustered. What am I going to do? So I called the agency, the Morris office, and I said, I'm in a spot now. It's the day after tomorrow's the shoot. So he said, well, we've got somebody to replace her. I said, well, replace Marilyn? How are you going to? Listen, we found a guy that is sensational. He's been on other shows, but he's never been on a big, big special like yours. I said, yes. Who is it? He said, well, you don't know his name. Maybe you heard of him, but it was who? You know? Elvis Presley.
Oh.
A good, so I can thank 20th Century, and God bless Marilyn, I can thank her for not making it, because up came the biggest star in the world. And from then on, it took off. The rest is a story.
And both of them, incredibly, still live.
Yes,
and we'll
they do.
pick up on that right after this. Don't go away.
Yes, they do.
On Larry King Live. That was, by the way, one of our guests taking George Barris taking a picture of Marilyn Monroe. Our guests are Milton Berle, one of the great legends in the history of American comedy. Hope Lang, that wonderful actress who starred with Marilyn Monroe in Bus Stop, arguably her best film. Although Some Like It Hot would be the best comedy. Bus Stop may be certainly the best drama. Mickey Rooney. We have to tell you who Mickey Rooney is. You are on another planet. George Barris, the famed photographer who we saw taking a picture of Marilyn when we returned. And the wonderful actor, raconteur, and endlessly youthful Robert Wagner. The end of Marilyn Monroe's life. It's believed, George, that you may have taken the last pictures of her. How soon before she dies? She dies August 6th. When was the last time you took pictures of her?
I took the last pictures, it was on July 13th on the beach in Santa Monica here in California.
And there we see them. I think that's the last picture.
It's one of the last pictures of her. Yeah,
okay, now, what kind of mood was she in?
She was in a very good mood because we were on the beach not far from the Peter Lawford home.
Here's a video of that shoot, right?
Right. That was done by a very nice lady who happened to be on tour in California then, and she sent that to me and said, if you can use it, I let you have it. So it was
and
nice.
So she was in a good mood, no sign of any impending...
At the beginning, we were near the Peter Lawford house, and she had many good times and sad times there, and so there were little tears.
But that was a good day.
That was a good day.
She certainly looked good.
Was this after having married her great writer?
Of course, she's going to die in 3 weeks, so it's Arthur Miller.
Arthur Miller has passed on, but the fact is...
They were divorced. Arthur Miller's alive. They were divorced.
Sure.
Right? They were divorced. She was not married this time.
It's a funny thing, all of these great sensual stars, happiness eludes them. Ava Gardner, my first wife, Marilyn, Elizabeth Taylor is still alive, God love her. But happiness seems to just...
Why do you think that is? Why did happiness elude her?
Why did happiness elude Marilyn? You know, Larry, when I was around her, she was always happy. When she was in my house, she was happy. I've been with her when she's just been joyous, and she was doing what she wanted to do. She wanted to be an actress. She wanted to be what Mickey Rooney, she'd love to have the talent that Mickey has. You know, when you said about the coaches and things like that, Mickey, I mean, you got more talent in your little finger than most people have got in their whole body, So when she's looking at you,
She
You
can't
make it
do
look
that.
easy. She can't do that, you know? So that's why she was
They wouldn't let her
constant.
do
But
it.
you never saw her.
That's true. You're right about that, but she was trying to do that. She was
Well,
trying to do
sure.
something serious.
You never saw her in depression. You never saw her in bad moods. You never saw her.
Of course.
The side we've all.
Of course she wasn't on one level all the time. Of course she wasn't.
Was she on barbiturates at that time?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Were you
I really
aware of it,
didn't.
George?
I never believed that she took any drugs
Neither do I.
or was an alcoholic or
You don't
anything
think
like
she
that.
took-
Oh,
Never,
I think she
never.
OD'd. That's what only thing I believe. The other stuff that I hear about the gangs and all that, and
Oh,
the
that's
Kennedys, that's
This is also right before her death, taken by George Barris. This picture. You don't buy any of the stories.
no,
No,
I don't at
no.
all.
Does anybody?
No.
No.
Nobody here does.
I think
not
I
by
think
them.
she committed
The Robert
unfortunately,
Kennedy, the
I
gangsters.
think she
Oh,
committed
no,
suicide.
she OD'd. That's what she did,
OD'd.
Mickey.
With
Accidentally, OD.
Accidentally.
I don't think she took her life.
I
really
agree.
don't.
I agree.
No,
I
she
really
didn't.
don't think she
You
took
don't think she took the 60
No.
No,
Nembutal?
her own life.
no.
Purposely, he's
All
talking.
right, then why would she,
60 Nembutal.
why would she take, as Mickey points out, 60 pills,
Well,
George?
you know, that's a little
I
bit of
spoke to
conjecture,
her the
isn't it?
night before.
Right, it is.
Dead.
Well, yeah.
She wanted me to
Harder,
come out to see her. She said it was important. It was a Friday. I was going to come out Monday. She died that weekend. Why would she want me to come out? We're working on a book together. We have a big 10, 12-page story, plus the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine. Why would she take her life? I'll never believe that.
So it was accidental.
No, it was murder. It was not
I
accidental.
thought you said no.
How was it murder?
You just said
Because
no.
there were many
We just asked
people
you-
involved. I don't know why she did it. Maybe if I got out to the coast, maybe I would
Wait a minute, hold it. I just asked, do you think anything was wrong in her death? And you said no.
That's
You
right.
do think she was murdered.
I believe she was.
No one else thinks she was.
I don't think she was.
I think
don't
she was
think
so
she was.
terribly
No.
mixed up
No,
that she didn't
no.
know what to do.
Milton, I don't think that.
You're wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, we will.
Well, everybody, you're never going to get that's a yin and yang.
Yeah, that's yin yang.
We'll never know, but I don't think that she wanted me to spend all that time with her, do a book,
Well, you're putting
do
two
this
and two
big...
together.
Oh, but he could accident. It could be accidental, right? Or were there too many pills?
After a while, she couldn't even do a scene and couldn't remember 3 words. She was doing a scene with somebody or else, I forget who it was, and they would shoot the scene maybe 30 or 40 times because she couldn't get the first few lines out. And even
Hope,
her
was it
last,
known in this
her
city
last
that
picture
she-
with Clark Gable.
Yeah, misfits. Was it known in this city that she was a user, that she was taking?
I have no idea.
No.
You're
No, I
talking
don't
to the
think
wrong
so.
person.
Was it rumored?
Not during bus stop.
RJ?
It was not rumored.
Never.
But she always had trouble with lines, and she always was procrastinating before she got on a set, and always trying to make it last longer.
about to be like this.
No,
Do you know that,
I never
Mickey?
saw that,
Yes.
so I don't know.
Can't improve. Well, the night of the president, when she was late, when Lawford said the lady's finally here, and she came in, happy birthday.
Was not
She was
loaded.
not
She could
drunk.
hardly
loaded that
sing.
night.
No.
What?
She was not.
She was putting them on.
Not.
She wasn't?
No.
Okay.
We'll be back.
I thought she was great.
No.
We'll be
She
back with
was-
more on the left. We'll be back. Don't go away.
She was.
We're back. Hope Lang, you did a scene with her in Bus Stop, right? Mm-hmm. What was it like to work with her? Your scene.
Well, it was a brief scene, and it took about 2 days to shoot. And when it came to from my close-up, she went to her dressing room, and I did it with the dialogue director. So it wasn't easy.
You
And
couldn't
I
have
was
liked
supposed to
her.
cry in the scene, but after about the 30th take, it got very difficult.
Well, that had to be
Not
very
cry,
difficult.
cry, but just
It
little
had to be
tears.
very difficult to like
She
her.
do a scene off stage with a mustache man.
Yeah, it had to be difficult to like it then. I mean, to like her.
It was frustrating. I didn't dislike her. I didn't know at the time that she tried to get me fired.
She won't.
And I was in no way,
Why did
shape,
she
or
want you
form
fired?
a threat to Marilyn on any level.
Why did she want you fired?
I have no idea. I was told by George Axelrod, who wrote the screenplay, years after the picture had been completed and out and all that. And he was one that told me that she had gone to the head of the studio and said she would like, and she had them also in the hair department. She had them darken my hair because she thought it was too close to her color. She was just immensely insecure.
Hollywood.
Let's get a quick call in, then more stories. Altamont Springs, Florida. Hello. Hello? Anybody there? I read you. Nobody's there.
Hello.
Oh, is that you, Altamont Springs?
Yes, it is.
You're on.
Okay. Hollywood has changed so much over the years. I'm wondering if your panel thinks Marilyn would be as big a success if she came to Hollywood today as she was when she came out years ago.
Great question. RJ?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Anybody disagree?
Without any equivocation.
I think that's true. The only thing is, I don't think they could afford her. I mean, no star can
be that big
where they can keep a set waiting for hours.
Elizabeth Taylor is.
No, she's without
65.
making trouble. What? No, without making trouble.
No, in other words, the actors are getting $20 million now, the big ones, right? Gibson gets $20 million.
Harrison Ford gets $20 million.
Harrison Ford. Would she have gotten $20 million today?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Who knows?
That's a tough thing.
You know, the camera loved her. And as Mickey said, there was only one Marilyn Monroe. There's been nobody that's come along since then that's even come close to her. I mean, there's been more written about her and more adulation and more people wondering and thinking, and it isn't.
No female star. Elizabeth Taylor didn't approach that. She approached it, but didn't equal it.
Elizabeth had a lot of ink on her, a lot. But don't forget, Elizabeth started as a little girl with
National Velvet.
Yeah.
You know, she's been in front of the public for a long time.
Didn't you once, Eddie Fisher, I read in your book, you were supposed to escort her somewhere?
That's a good anecdote. Back in the Rat Pack, I was playing one nightclub, and the Rat Pack was at the Sands, and
Sinatra, Lawford, Davis,
that group, and Joey Bishop, and I got in a day early because Dean Martin had a birthday party coming up the next day at the Sands, and Eddie Fisher was at the what's the name?
One of the hotels. All right.
Desert Inn.
Desert Inn, right. And I was opening the next day at the other hotel, some other hotel, Riviera or something. And it makes no difference. It gets to the bottom line. So I got in the day early on account of the birthday party, not to appear in my show over at the Riviera. So I knew about the party for Dino. So I got invited, and I got a call from Frank Sinatra, and he told me, he said, Marilyn is down here for the weekend, spending the weekend, also to be with all of us and to be at Dino's party. So I said, well, no, enough. And he said, I wonder if you'd do me a favor. In those days, they had 2 shows a night. Oh. So everybody was working in a different club that wanted to be at the party. So I got a call from Sinatra. He said, Milton, would you do me a favor? Would you please escort Marilyn Monroe, to the first show? Then they had the party on the stage at the first show with all the group. I said, I'll be very glad to. 20 minutes later, I get a call from Eddie Fisher, who's at the other hotel. Milton, would you do me a favor? La Même chose, same thing. Would you escort Liz, be her escort, to the Sands that night for the party? I said, yes.
So you got Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn.
Yeah, well, Marilyn was at the Sands, staying there, and Liz was at the Desert Inn. That's the place where Eddie was. So I picked them both up, and we made the entrance, get to the bottom line, into the club. Oh, and it was jam. Big party, big. Everybody knew it. The whole town knew it. And we all had a black tie, and they looked gorgeous. Now I got the most beautiful blonde on one arm, Marilyn, and the most beautiful brunette on the other arm. And we're walking in, well, the audience stood up, cheered, "Ray, Ray," scream. I never heard such noise in my life. Cheering, cheering. And I had the chutzpah and the nerve, who else, to say to both of them, to Marilyn and to Liz, as they were cheering, I said, who says nobody knows me?
You have no ego.
Guts?
That's guts. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. amazing pictures taken by George Barris. They're going to tour, by the way. We're going to have a whole exhibit of Marilyn Monroe, right?
We're going to have a whole exhibit of a lot of these pictures and a lot that have never been seen. And we're starting at M4 Arts and Antiques on Rodeo Drive in September.
Here in Beverly Hills?
Here in Beverly Hills.
Tour it.
And then we'll tour it. It'll be, I think, an exciting exhibit.
You ever figure out how many pictures you've taken of her?
Oh, God, almost 1,000.
Let's get a call from LOJ, Georgia. Hello.
Yes, wonderful show. How would the panel compare Marilyn with Madonna?
Oh.
Ooh, a dynamite question.
And, Mick, what's the dynamite answer?
Well, first of all, Madonna and Marilyn Monroe were identically different. Now, let's get that
straight. One of the weirdest answers.
I know.
Identically different?
Identically.
Well, that's the way I speak.
Hold it. I think R.J. understands that answer.
He knows what I'm talking about.
You know what he's doing.
Identically different?
Yes, because they both are magnificent starcades, but they're different personalities.
Very much so.
And they are individuals.
Madonna is not as big.
You can't compare
No
them.
comparison.
I said they were individually different.
Yeah,
I don't think you can compare Marilyn to anyone, and I think
no one like her, right?
that's why this is being done, and that's why
one
this.
Marilyn. That's
Never will be again.
I mean, if Madonna walked into some place tonight, a restaurant in L.A., there'd be commotion. Hey, there's Madonna.
Absolutely.
If Marilyn Monroe walked in,
But
it was over.
and rightfully so, Madonna should have that kind of reaction. But with Marilyn, Marilyn's a different thing. Marilyn had an interior.
Nope, can't replace it.
Had a magnetic quality.
Who was the love of her life, George?
The camera.
Very well said.
Oh, that's good.
It's true.
Very
She
succinctly
started as a model. She remained a model until the day she died. She didn't have to remember lines, pacing.
So she thought like a model.
She thought like a model, and that's how she started, and that's how she ended.
She cared very much for Donald O'Connor. I know that when she made that picture.
No business like
show
I always
business.
liked that movie.
Yes, and she had told Johnny Hyde, or Johnny had passed away.
No, he was this after.
What?
This is way after Hyde.
Yeah, I know.
It's
That's what I'm
you
saying.
tell him.
During Dr.
But she
Jekyll.
loved.
This was during.
She loved Donald
Dr.
O'Connor.
Jekyll. I see.
She loved Donald O'Connor romantically?
No.
No,
She thought he was one of the most wonderful, talented men that she'd ever seen. And I believe that with all my heart also.
We'll be back with our remaining moments right after this. Remaining moments, R.J., why doesn't she go away?
I think probably the mystery of the way she died is one reason, and I think also that people really loved her, and I think they
Still love her.
Yeah, still love her, and they look into her and they can see something that's down in there that waiting to come out, I think.
And too young. Leave us too young.
Very too young. Very too young.
It's like she and Elvis. They don't die, right, George?
She'll never die. She'll never die. She'll always be with us. The pictures prove it.
And the youngsters know her, right? I mean,
sure.
All the young people know her, and thank God we've got these beautiful pictures that will keep her young forever in our hearts.
She's an icon. That's what
She is, exactly.
There are others, though, that there were. Valentino was an icon. He ain't around. I mean, Bill Crosby was an icon. I mean, you're talking about me.
But Larry, we're talking about a star and a lady and a human being.
Who will ever be.
That can never be replaced.
She's like Garbo.
I think of her all the time. I mean,
You do, George. You loved her. Come on, George, admit it. Just say it. I love her.
I did love her.
Well, you can tell you loved her because with those photographs that you took of her, those are the best.
Hope, do you ever watch Bus Stop?
Yes, we have it home. In fact, I looked a little at it yesterday because it's been so long since I'd seen it.
You were both darn good in it. Thank you all for a wonderful hour.
Thank you for having us, Larry.
We should meet with Your Lips to God 35 years from tonight on the 70th anniversary. Thank you.
It's been nice trying to talk to you.
Thank you.
Nice trying to talk with you. Thanks for adding some sanity, R.J. Nice for coming.
Mickey, nice understanding you.
And remember, in the words of Mickey Rooney, Marilyn Monroe was...
Identically different.
Identically different. That's why we'll always remember her. Good night.